Her body was left without a shred of clothing, devoid of any blood, bisected, and with a mutilated mouth. The corpse lay by the roadside. These were the gruesome details of the death scene of Elizabeth Short. This case shocked the entire city of Los Angeles and the United States, with hundreds of detectives and police officers mobilized to hunt down the perpetrator. After 73 years, the question who killed the Black Dahlia remains unanswered. The Black Dahlia case. The haunting crime scene. On January 15, 1947, Betty Bersinger, a housewife in Los Angeles, California, was walking in Lymert Park with her 3-year-old daughter. On their way to a shoe repair shop, Betty discovered a white object amidst the grass, resembling a mannequin split in half. Betty Bersinger, upon realizing that the white object amidst the grass was not a mannequin, but a bisected woman, panicked and called the police. Officers Frank Perkins and Will Fitzgerald quickly arrived at the scene, an empty parking lot on Southwest Norton Avenue, where the bisected body of a girl was found. They immediately contacted the Los Angeles Police Department for assistance. Los Angeles Police Department Chief John Donahoe assigned the case to his two best detectives, Harry Hansen and Finney Brown. Just minutes after receiving the order, they were at the scene. The case shocked Los Angeles, attracting a large number of reporters to the scene. Detective Hansen was furious at the carelessness of the public and officers, who had spoiled the crime scene and evidence. The image of a naked woman, her pale body bisected at the waist and horrific cuts at the corners of her mouth, forming a Glasgow smile. On the victim's body, the words "BD Avenger" were written in red lipstick, implying the Avenger of the Black Dahlia. To detectives at the scene found a blood-stained cement bag and a footprint near the tire tracks, since there was no blood on the body and grass. Along with the presence of dew under the body, the police determined that the body had been placed there after 2 a.m., when the temperature dropped. Investigators believed that the victim had been bound and tortured for several days, based on the rope marks on her wrists, ankles, and neck. Her body had been meticulously bisected at the waist. After examination, the police identified the victim as a young woman, 1.65 meters tall, weighing 52 kilograms, with brown hair and light blue eyes. Her face was swollen and had multiple cuts. Although the victim's skull was not fractured, the police found distortions on the front and blood clots on the right side of the skull, indicating she had been hit in the head with a baseball bat. The victim had been and forced to swallow garbage and various other things before she died. The autopsy concluded that she died of suffocation and hemorrhage, or her mouth was slashed, and she suffered severe head trauma. The unfortunate actress's identity. Elizabeth, born on July 29, 1924, in Massachusetts, had sea blue eyes, a small nose, and full hips. At 16, Elizabeth had to drop out of school due to asthma and was sent to Miami, where she found a job as a waitress. Life at the bar transformed her from an innocent girl into a liberal woman. After 3 years in Miami, Elizabeth moved to Vallejo, California, to live with her father, and from there, she began to dream of becoming a Hollywood star. Despite possessing the feminine beauty characteristic of the 1940s, she was just a minor actress in Hollywood. Due to financial difficulties, Elizabeth tried to find the cheapest or free places to stay. She was seen with lovers at dozens of hotels, apartments, and boarding houses throughout California. Who killed Elizabeth Short? The last known person to have seen Elizabeth alive was Robert Manley, a married man. On January 9, 1947, Robert Manley took Elizabeth to the Biltmore Hotel, Los Angeles, and they parted ways at 6:30 p.m. It is unclear what happened to Elizabeth in the following week until her body was discovered. On January 25th, a leather wallet and a pair of black shoes were found in a trash can on 1819 East Street. Just a few kilometers from the crime scene, Robert Manley, the last person to see Elizabeth Short alive, identified and confirmed these items as Elizabeth's. The shoe that the police found was the pair that Manley had bought for Elizabeth in San Diego. The wallet had the distinctive scent of Elizabeth's perfume. However, the information gathered from these two items was not enough to lead to the murderer, as there were no additional traces. The police searched laundromats in the city for blood-stained clothes. They also interrogated relatives, neighbors, friends, Elizabeth's clients, passers-by, and medical students. On January 26th, the examiner received a handwritten letter. In it, the writer claimed to surrender at 10 a.m. January 29th and seemed satisfied with the police. This person referred to themselves as the Avenger of the Black Dahlia. However, no one came to surrender as promised. Instead, another letter was sent with the content, "I've changed my mind. You guys didn't give me a fair deal. Killing Dahlia was justified." The murderer is believed to have mocked investigators by sending the victim's personal belongings through the mail. It was a parcel smelling of gasoline, containing Elizabeth's personal items and documents, including photos, birth certificate, social security card, and an address book containing the names of 75 men. The police verified the 75 men on the list, all of whom had had a relationship with Elizabeth. Robert Manley, Elizabeth's one-night stand, was also among the suspects, but he passed the police's lie detector test. During the investigation into Elizabeth's death, about 60 people, mostly men, confessed to being the murderer. However, the police did not have enough evidence to charge anyone. A detective described the desperation in investigating the death of the Black Dahlia with the phrase, "The deeper you go into the case, the less you understand it." This was also the sentiment of hundreds of investigators and millions of people in Los Angeles and the United States who followed and awaited the outcome of this case. The question, who killed Elizabeth Short, remains a difficult puzzle for investigators and criminal psychologists in the United States for decades. The murderer, who caused the horrific death of the Black Dahlia, is still at large in society. Despite many efforts in the investigation, he is not being found. Perhaps he will never be found. The Black Dahlia case remains an unsolved mystery. If you have any information about the case, please comment below.